carefree highway, let me slip away on you.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
Carefree Highway is just one of the songs that have earned Gordon Lightfoot a secure place in the ranks of modern singer-songwriters. This morning he talks to John Blackstone for The Record.
You could read my mind, love, what a
We begin with a warning. Songs by Gordon Lightfoot have a tendency to stick in your head. Each tells a tale that's hard to forget. He's an old-fashioned balladeer, the kind they don't seem to make anymore.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down at the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Once he ruled the airwaves.
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
Singing of lives lost in shipwrecks and love gone bad.
I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved ones so.
His music has been recorded by a galaxy of stars, from Barbra Streisand to the Grateful Dead, Bob Dylan to the King himself.
In the early morning rain, with a dollar in my hand.
It went all the way to Elvis. It really did. It went all the way to Elvis Presley.
At age 75, Lightfoot still tours. He played more than 70 dates this year.
When you walk out in front of a crowd, you really got to give it everything that they, never less than what they expect from you.
Carefree highway, let me slip away on you. Carefree highway, let me slip away on you.
Although his most recent tour was called 50 Years on the Carefree Highway, his life has been anything but carefree. Timeless as his music may be, the years have taken their toll on Gordon Lightfoot. In 2002, he almost died just minutes before taking the stage in his hometown, Orillia, a lakeside community 80 miles north of Toronto, Canada.
I had a simple burst artery. It's like the hose breaking in your automobile. They gave me one shot, and I don't remember anything after that for 6 weeks.
6 weeks unconscious.
Yeah.
It's in Orillia that Lightfoot remembers singing for his first audience, standing on his grandmother's kitchen table.
Aunts and uncles standing around the table watching and actually getting the feel and when they applauded. I remember the applause.
He grew up as Gordy Lightfoot, singing in church choirs and barbershop quartets. In 1958, Gordy made a bold move, heading to Los Angeles to study music. This is where I have to make a disclosure. Orillia happens to be my hometown, too. I was in Orillia at that time, and I think I remember hearing about Gordy taking off to Los Angeles.
What's Gordy doing? What's Gordy doing going to Los Angeles?
His big break came in 1965 when Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded his song, For Lovin' Me.
So don't you shed a tear for me. I ain't the love you thought I'd be.
Their manager called and said, do you want a management contract? And being the reserved sort of conservative kind of Canadian that I am, I had to think about it for 3 months.
He made joke about being Canadian, but unlike others who found success in the United States and stayed there, Lightfoot returned to his homeland, a matter of pride in Canada, where he even wound up on a postage stamp.
We have a lot of common values, but we're different. We are different. And there's lots of ways of defining that difference, and one of them is in Gordon Lightfoot.
Good evening, I'm Peter Mansbridge. And
Peter Mansbridge anchors the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's evening newscast, The National.
Lightfoot talks about his country and about us.
No Lightfoot song is more Canadian than the Canadian Railroad Trilogy. It was commissioned to celebrate Canada's centennial year, 1967.
There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, and the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun.
You know, I don't think it's any overstatement to suggest that for a lot of Canadians, It's kind of the unofficial anthem.
Canada! Canada!
You know, we love "O Canada." We love seeing the flag raised when we beat the Americans in the gold medal game at hockey. But in the back of our minds, it's the Canadian Railroad Trilogy.
Another of Lightfoot's anthems was inspired by a Great Lakes shipwreck.
The captain went in, he had water coming in. The big ship and crew was in peril. Then later that night, when his legs were on the sails, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
It strikes me that with the exception of the Titanic, that there's no more famous shipwreck than the Edmund Fitzgerald now. On his living room wall, Lightfoot keeps a copy of the 1975 magazine article that inspired the song and even some of its lyrics.
Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
Newsweek magazine gave it about a half a page and a little tiny photograph about this big. And I said, that's not good enough for this type of thing to go by totally unnoticed.
He's crafted major hits from personal loss as well. If You Could Read My Mind followed the breakup of his first marriage.
And I will never be set free as long as I'm a ghost you can't see.
His chart-topping Sundown is a chronicle of infidelity.
I could see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess.
Did your family life suffer because of your dedication to performing, recording, right?
I think they did. Hard to be traveling all over thither and yon and being my age. And drinking. I mean, anything can happen.
Lots of temptation.
And it did.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress.
When young Canadian musicians were asked recently by the CBC to audition for a TV show by performing Sundown, they made the old tune sound brand new.
Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain.
The music endures, and so does Gordon Lightfoot. How long can you keep doing it?
Until I stop doing it.
So I best be on my way. The early morning rain.
So if you spend the rest of the day humming one of his songs, please remember, we warned you. They can stick in your head.